But right now, let's take a look back at how both these teams made it to today's final. For the Cherry Creek Bruins, there were no pitfalls on the road to the 4A finals. The Bruins ran through a perfect 10-0 regular season. In the preliminary round, they destroyed Doherty 35-0 and beat Arvada 35-18 in the quarterfinals. But in last week's semis, the top rushing team in the state had to go against North Glen, the team with the #1 rush defense. And right away, the Norsemen showed how they earned that title. But Cherry Creek is a team of many facets, and when the ground game didn't go, quarterback Rick Wheeler went to the air. Here, he hits running back Todd Buckner. Buckner hauls it in on the run, and he goes for a 34-yard gain down to the North Glen 5, and the Bruins are within striking distance early in the first period. Two running plays and an incomplete pass netted nothing. And with 4th and goal at the 5, it was Wheeler going to the air again. This time he fakes twice into the line, bootlegs, and then fires a strike to Joe Thompson, dragging across the middle for the touchdown. Wheeler ended the day 11 of 14 for 164 yards and 1 touchdown.
I don't think we went into the game plan on throwing that much. They shut us down early, so we had to go to the air. And fortunately for us, it worked out. Did a good job. Line did a heck of a job. Give me time back there. If they give me time, I can usually find somebody.
Wheeler's line gave him all the time in the world on this Saturday afternoon as he picked apart the North Glen secondary. When the Norsemen started looking for the pass, the Bruins' backfield started churning out 220 yards on the ground. Scott Whitehouse breaks a couple of tackles on the way to a 15-yard gain. And Todd Buckner also had a good day. He goes 18 yards on this carry as the Bruins rack up a 13-0 halftime lead. North Glen's quarterback Charlie Childerston is known as a pretty good passer too, but he had to spend most of the afternoon trying to avoid a crushing Bruins rush. Childerston was sacked 7 times. One of his 4 interceptions came on this play. He's hit by Rob Marshall as he throws, and Matt Moe comes up with a steal. That led to a Tim Meyerhoff 36-yard field goal to end the scoring. As Cherry Creek shuts out the Norsemen 22-0. It's no surprise the Bruins are in today's championship matchup. They've been ranked #1 most of the season. For Regis, a different story. At the start of the year, everyone knew the Red Raiders had plenty of talent, but no one knew just how far that talent would take them. Well, it took them straight to the playoffs, and their march to today's championship game has been just as impressive.
Okay, left 538 counter, Chris Cross.
The Red Raiders finished the regular season with a 9-1 record. Their only loss was to Broomfield. In the playoffs, they shut out defending champion Mitchell 30-0 and stopped Alameda with a last-second field goal. That sent them into last week's semifinals against Pomona. The Panthers' big offensive weapon was no big secret, but he is big. 215-pound fullback Doug Klein churned out yard after yard on the Panthers' first possession. Klein capped the 67-yard drive with a 1-yard plunge to give Pomona a 6-0 lead with 2 minutes left in the first period. Early in the second quarter, the Red Raiders' defense gave the team the spark it needed. With Pomona inside the Regis 20, Luke Fredericks throws in the flat to Mike Marquez. He drops it, but it was a lateral, not a forward pass, and the ball is still in play. Jeff Braun alertly picked it up and goes for an apparent score, but a clip brings it back to the Regis 47.
Just needed a break to get us going because we couldn't stop them at first, and then we just needed a break to get us going.
Then it was time for the offense to go to work. On their first play, Rick Giarratano finds his favorite receiver, Matt Arnold, and that play moves the ball to Pomona's 36. 4 plays later, it's Braun again. This time blasting 15 yards up the middle, and Regis takes a 7-6 halftime lead. In the third period, the Red Raiders added a 2-point safety to up their lead to 9-6. Then in the fourth quarter, the offense marches again. Giarratano sneaks it in from the 1, and the Red Raiders have a 16-6 lead. By now, the Regis defense had shut down Pomona's running attack, so the Panthers tried to go to the air to get back into the game. Once again, it's Braun coming up with a big play. Fredericks under pressure. He tries to go deep to Don DeLuzio, but Braun comes up with the ball, and he races 47 yards down the sideline for the touchdown. The Red Raiders may have started slow, but they finished fast. They beat Pomona 21-6 to make it to today's championship battle. And so the battle lines have been drawn, and in less than 30 minutes, we'll have the opening kickoff in today's Class 4A championship. Now, Cherry Creek is a school rich in sports tradition. If the Bruins win today's game, it'll be the 47th state championship for this school, but only the first in football. Despite taking his teams to the playoffs 17 of the last 21 years, head coach Fred Tassone has yet to win it all. But he prefers to accentuate the positive.
We look at what we accomplished in the games we won, not the game that we might lose or have lost, let's say, in the state championship game or the semifinals. And in the last 5 years, we were in the state finals twice, and we were in the semifinals 3 times, and we're very proud of that.
This could be the year that Tassone gets that trophy. The Bruins' defense is one of the best. They've recorded 5 shutouts so far this year. On the other side of the ball, Cherry Creek has the best rushing offense in the state, 908 yards so far in the playoffs. Quarterback Rick Wheeler orchestrates a backfield that's got more deception than a Doug Henning magic show. Tassone will also get some help from home today. Youngest son Ron is the starting fullback. In his senior year, he's the 3rd leading rusher and the team's top scorer with 88 points. But in high school football, the team is just part of the program.
We have that. We have a very supportive community. Our student body is very supportive, and it means a great deal to everybody. And
so this week, while the linemen practice their blocking, the cheerleaders practice their routine. While the running backs practice their ball handling, the band was preparing its halftime show. And while the team built up its intensity, so did the rest of the school. At yesterday's pep rally, the student body spirit was hot. Well, actually, all that smoke is from a smoke bomb. I guess things haven't changed much since I was in high school, still pulling pranks. There is one other thing that hasn't changed. The noise at a pep rally is deafening. The players aren't the only ones who have been working hard this week.
We decorated their locker room for the game. We put some posters up in the lobby, and I hope a lot of people turn out for the game.
And who's going to win?
Cherry Creek.
While the students roared their support, Coach Tassone and his players sat quietly, probably thinking about the game and what it means to the school. But when the cheerleaders introduced their version of the 12 Days of Christmas, rewritten to the 12 Days of Practice, the final line fired up the squad. Well, it's safe to say the students here at Cherry Creek are fired up for the game. In just a moment, we'll go over to Regis to see what's going on over there. For the Red Raiders from Regis, today's championship game is a dream come true. Until today, no Regis football team had ever made it to the state finals. The Red Raiders defense, like Cherry Creek, has shut out 5 opponents this year. They are quick, fast, and opportunistic. The offense, meanwhile, is like a chameleon. They thrive on camouflage and misdirection. With players going several different ways, it's hard for a defense to key on any one aspect of the Red Raiders game. The master of this misdirection is head coach Dick Giarratano's son, Rick. He and 5 other starters play both ways. Some would argue with that system, but Rick says it works to their advantage.
A lot of the guys that are playing both ways, deserve that, and we play a lot better together. That way, the offense and defense, just going back and forth, there's a lot of coherence there.
The Red Raiders haven't gotten much publicity this year. Till now, everyone's been talking about Cherry Creek. But Coach Giarratano says come game time, talk means nothing.
It's 11 on 11 at that time, and I think our 11 are going to be ready to play the ball game just as Cherry Creek's are.
Giarratano says his players are thrilled to be in the championship game. But getting to the finals isn't enough.
We really want this bad, Number 2 is good, but we want to be number 1.
The students also want it bad. It's hard to believe that a student body of 650 can be as loud as 3,400. But believe me, the ringing in my ears will attest to their decibel levels. Regis has been the underdog most of the year. So one of the students wrote a poem entitled The Regis Blues. And the final line was a real crowd pleaser.
As we are Regis, and we want the crown, tomorrow's the day Creek will go down.
That called for an encore.
And though by most, we're picked to lose again, we've been there before, and we're going to win!
Then it was time for a little comedy. Regis is an all-boys school, so the pep rally organizers wanted to show the students what they were missing by not going to a co-ed school like Cherry Creek. These girls were rowdy. The gathering may not have been as large as their opponents, but the intensity was every bit as great. Players are ready, and as you can see, the fans are ready too. I may not be able to hear for a quarter, but we'll be back in just a moment with the 1982 Colorado Class 4A Football Championship.
This has been the Championship Countdown, a preview of today's game. Brought to you by O'Mara Ford. O'Mara means Ford since 1913. This has been a Channel 4 sports presentation.
Is good, but we want to be number 1.
Today, it's speed versus size in the showdown of champions. Channel 4 presents the Colorado State 4A High School Football Championship game. The Regis Red Raiders against the Cherry Creek Bruins. Brought to you by McDonald's. Taste the great big taste of the Big Mac, only at McDonald's. By your Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers. Take advantage of the special 10.9% financing, plus the cash back available on most 82 and 83 models. And by J.C. Penney, the Christmas place. Good afternoon from Jeffco Stadium. It's Cherry Creek against Regis for the 4A State High School Football Championship. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Zapolo along with Steve Alvarez. We expect a great contest this afternoon. The size of Cherry Creek against possibly the quickness of Regis. Steve, you've watched so much high school football this year. You know these teams well. Where does the edge lie?
Well, I think the difference is not so much in the size and speed, which is a big factor, but also in the misdirection versus deception. Both teams very tricky on the offenses. They throw a lot of misdirection, get a defense to commit themselves one way, and then they go the other. And that's been the secret for both offenses. Both very similar. They have very similar attacks. First, let's take a look at Regis's record, see how they got here. 12-1 on the season. As you can see, their only loss coming in the 4th game against Broomfield. After that, the Red Raiders went on a tear. The key, as I said, to their offense is misdirection. They'll send the players 2-3 different directions all at once, freeze the linebackers, freeze the cornermen, and then the play goes another way. For Cherry Creek, a perfect 13-0 season this year, no blemishes. 5 shutouts this season. If we can take a look at their schedule, they started out with shutouts against Arapahoe and Douglas County, Smoky Hill, Gateway, and Doherty. 3 straight shutouts midway through the season. Of course, last week they shut out North Glen 22-0. Their key on offense, deception. Rick Wheeler, the master of disguise, 2 or 3 fakes in the line. He can throw the ball, he can run it, he can pitch it. So you've got a lot of things that can happen on both offenses. It's tough for a defense to key. And I think the key to this game is going to be the defensive line, how they react to the offense.
Okay, that's it. We'll come back for the kickoff this afternoon when we continue. Back at Jeffco Stadium, Regis has won the toss. They will receive. Cherry Creek will kick off. Both teams, as Steve said, looking for their first state 4A football championship as we are about to start. Steve, Regis not as deep as Cherry Creek. 54 players as compared to 82 for the Bruins, and 6 of the Regis Red Raiders play both ways, meaning on offense and defense. How much does that take out of their team?
Well, you know, a lot of people would go against that system, but according to the coach and the players, they prefer to have it that way. They think it creates a lot more coherence on the team. I think the key is going to be for Regis to have to jump out early. Obviously, they're going to get tired. Cherry Creek with a strict 2-platoon system, it's going to wear down on the players later on in the game. So if Regis can jump out early, I think that's the key for them to stay in the ball game.
Regis will be in red, or the dark jerseys on your screen, and to the left of your screen right now, the Cherry Creek Bruins huddled in the aisle, and here they come. The Bruins
here we go
onto the field as they are looking for their first 4A championship. Fred Tassone, 20 years at Cherry Creek, the head coach. He's also looking for that first title. Regis, when they get the ball first, Rick Giratano, their quarterback, has had a great year. Steve, what can you tell me about him? What kind of offense will he run?
Well, Giratano is an all-around quarterback. He can run, he can throw. It's a pretty balanced attack. He's thrown for 1,658 yards so far this year. A lot of sprint outs, which will help them against the Cherry Creek pass rush that's been tremendous this year. His favorite receiver is Matt Arnold, also a senior, a guy that he and Giratano have played ball together since about age 8, so they know each other well. They know the moves. I think Cherry Creek may have the edge in receivers. They've got a larger contingent of receivers, really. Matt Arnold is relied on heavily by Regis, but the sprint out pass will help Regis on the rush.
Regis also, one of their big weapons will be number 22. Watch him from the fullback position, Jeff Braun.
Boy, he is just one heads-up football player. Last week, he scored a 15-yard touchdown run, intercepted a pass, went back 47 yards for a score, tackled the Pomona quarterback for a safety. He's always at the ball. He's a game breaker.
You saw Fred Tassone in your picture. Steve and I both had a chance to talk to him for a few minutes this morning. He appears ready, says his team is ready, as he gathers them around for some last-minute instructions. Cherry Creek, they'll be on defense first. People you'll have to watch are 2 pretty familiar names. Number 44, Gene Mingo. Yes, the son of the Bronco, Gene Mingo, one of the first great Broncos. At one of the linebacker spots, number 34, Don Zeman, the son of Bob Zeman, the Bronco linebacker coach. And there's Embry, the tight end, whose father also played for the Broncos. So a lot of very familiar names today. Cherry Creek is bigger, Steve. They average 172 pounds a man as compared to 160 for Regis.
You've got both defenses are excellent. You've got to give the edge in quickness to Regis. They get off the ball and follow the ball a little quicker. Some of the guys, though, like Mingo, 6'1", 235, he moves extremely well for a big man. Rob Marshall, the left defensive end, is extremely quick, and at 6'6", he can present one heck of a pass rush when he gets his arms up.
Matt Moe and Todd Buckner are deep for Cherry Creek. They'll receive the kick. You see them right there. Buckner on the right of your screen, Moe on the left.
Buckner is another game breaker. He runs well. He can go inside, go outside. All the Cherry Creek backs are also good pass receivers, and that's where Regis has to be careful. If Rick Wheeler has time to throw, he's going to get to somebody.
Kevin Murray, number 17, will kick off for Regis. Just about capacity here. Beautiful day. Sunny, temperatures somewhere probably in the high 50s. Weather will not be a factor. We are underway from Jeffco in the 1982 4A championship. It comes down to Moe. Out past the 20, out to about the 24. That's about as far as he gets. Craig Campbell, number 88 for Regis, made the stop. So Cherry Creek will have it. 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Here is the Cherry Creek offense.
Rick Wheeler at quarterback, he can do it all. Todd Buckner, one of the running backs. Jim Davis, an all-purpose fullback. Ron Tassone, the head coach's son, the last of the Tassone boys. He was out last week with an injured shoulder. He'll be back. John Embry, one of the ends. J.D. Brookhart, the split end. He is a game breaker. We've got Trushinsky, Grillo, Woodard, Rivolo, and Cox on the line.
There's the handoff, goes straight up the middle, out across the 30-yard line to about the 32-yard line. I believe that was the fullback, Jim Davis. And a fumble, and apparently Regis has recovered the football.
Got it. You know, we talked about Regis being an opportunistic defense. They've got to take advantage of the mistakes and turn it around. And boy, what a break for the Red Raiders. 1st and 10, it looks like, at the Cherry Creek 30. Now you're going to see an offense run with a lot of misdirection. One or two guys in motion going both ways. You never know which way the play is going to go. If they try and set the flow one way, catch the defense, and come back at it.
14, Rick Geritano, senior quarterback, 175 pounds. As the handoff goes right up the middle, that's Jeff Braun, breaks away. Jeff Braun, touchdown.
Whoa, that's the same play that Braun scored on against Pomona last week. The flow goes to the left, but the quick handoff up the middle, and they just cracked that one wide open. And listen to that Regis crowd. Hey, didn't I tell you we'd have an exciting ball game today?
Well, we have started quickly. Take a look at it again. Quick trap to Braun.
There's the big trap play. Braun gets the big hole, gets by the linebackers, and he's on his way.
Matt Arnold will attempt to kick the extra point for Regis. Kick is up, and it is good. And so Regis quickly out on top. 11-8 to go, 1st quarter from Jeffco Stadium. Regis 7, Cherry Creek nothing.
Jeffco Stadium, Regis just shocking this crowd, jumping on top of Cherry Creek 7-0, recovering a fumble on the first play. Jeff Braun going in for the score.
Murray to kick off. Buckner and Moe deep again. This one will come to Moe, taken on about his 5. Out across the 20 again. Another fumble. Cherry Creek appears to have it.
Creek comes up with this. Creek comes up with this one.
So Cherry Creek now on 2 possessions has fumbled twice. One they have lost, one they have retained.
You got to wonder if the kids are a little too excited for the game right now.
Todd Trushinsky recovered the fumble, so Cherry Creek now 1st and 10 from their own 33. As you look at Fred Tassone, I'm sorry, make that the 28. There's the fake by Wheeler, and Wheeler, I believe, misdirection back the other way. He still got it.
Now, if you think that's tough for a cameraman to follow, you should try to be a defensive linebacker and follow the flow of that.
Wheeler's getting up a little slowly. He brought the ball out across the 40.
Take a look at the replay. You can watch the motion. All the direction goes to the right. Wheeler looks like he's going to, well, he just got caught on the option, spun back the other way. Good heads-up football, and he turns the loss into a couple of yard gain.
J.R. Bernazzoni on the tackle. The thing you'll notice about Cherry Creek is they will not panic. They're a control ball club. They'll come out and just keep putting it to you.
Second down, 3. There's the handoff. It goes straight up the middle to Ron Tassone. Tassone out across the 45.
And you can see why he's the third leading rusher on this team. He's pretty good size at 5'9", 170. Top scorer on the team with 88 points this year.
It's the Cherry Creek defensive line.
Bob Wilson, Jeff Schmidt, Gene Mingo, of course, former Broncos Gene Mingo's son, and Rob Marshall. Look out for him. Pete Pavlik, Rex Peters, and Don Zeman, the linebackers.
First and 10, ball on the 47. There's the straight handoff right up the middle. Out across the 50 is Jim Davis, out to about the Regis 48-yard line. Check that, make it Ron Tassone, number 43.
And you can see the type of ball control offense that Cherry Creek has. They're primarily a run-oriented team, but anyone that saw the game last week knows they can put it up in the air, and they're not afraid to do it.
Second down and 5 from the Regis 48. Cherry Creek now starting to grind it out just a bit. Wheeler hands it off straight up the middle. Todd Buckner crosses the 40-yard line. First down, Cherry Creek.
Another quick opener. That's similar to what Regis ran that worked so well when Braun scored. Watch Buckner burst up the middle. The flow is going outside, and on that quick trap, it's hard to stop your momentum. And he has a big hole.
First and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line. Wheeler hands it off right up the middle, and again, great misdirection and great ball handling by Rick Wheeler, the Cherry Creek quarterback. It was Tassone. Tassone down to about the Regis 32-yard line.
And again, with that misdirection and deception, even though they're running the ball straight up the middle, you can see Tassone get the handoff. The linebackers are worried about where the fakes are going to go, if they're going to option, if they're going to pitch. And Tassone with a quick opener up the middle. They're driving well now.
Second and 2 from the Regis 32. 8:54 to go. First quarter here from Jeffco. Regis out in front 7-0 after a turnover and a 30-yard touchdown run. This time the handoff goes to Buckner. Hard driving Todd Buckner takes it down close to the 25, given back to about the 26. Enough though for a first down.
And that is why it's important for Regis to jump on Cherry Creek early, because the Bruins can eat up the clock. This is the type of play they love. As we'll watch Wheeler with the one fake, then the motion the other way to Buckner. He gets an extra blocker with Davis coming through there, and that gives him the extra yardage, and the Bruins are churning it up.
First and 10. Wheeler still got the ball, won't go far. Number 83, Matt Arnold. Good tackle from his linebacker spot. He's the one who is the wide receiver as well. 6 players on Regis go both ways, start on offense and defense.
And again, Fred Tassone going with a 2-platoon system, but Dick Giarratano believes in his players, and they believe in the in going both ways. They believe it adds a little coherence to the team.
Second and 8, ball in the Regis 24. Cherry Creek started this drive from their own 30. There's the handoff to Tassone again. He gets down close to the 20 before the left side of that Regis defensive line stops him up, getting up off the pile. Number 47, Jeff Schoninger, the outside left linebacker.
The thing you'll notice about the Cherry Creek backfield, they have good moves, good speed, but when they've got to run it up the middle and put their head down and just go for the extra yards, they're not afraid to do that.
Third down, about 3 from the 19. The T-bone veer. I want to get into that in a minute, Steve, and have you explain to me exactly what that is. As Jim Davis, 32, goes in motion. That is Buckner. I believe he's got enough for the first down to about the 15-yard line.
Yes, he does. And interesting enough, we're watching Cherry Creek now really just kind of run it right up the middle of Regis, not doing as much misdirection as they normally would. Let's get the replay again. Just another straight dive by Buckner as Wheeler continues out on what looks like it could be an option. And Cherry Creek again opening the big holes on the quick traps.
7:12 to go, first quarter. First and 10 from the 15. There's the handoff up the middle. He's gone. Touchdown. Todd Buckner, 15 yards. Check that, make it Jim Davis, the fullback, and this one is about to be tied as Cherry Creek will attempt to do that for the extra point.
That shows you the composure of this team as we see the replay. The two backs crossing each other. Davis getting the handoff. He gets a big hole. and Giarratano can't get to him in time to stop him. 7-6. A very well executed, very well conceived drive there. A lot of quick traps, a lot of quick openers. Regis is going to have to make some adjustments on defense if they're going to stop this running attack at Cherry Creek.
Tim Meyerhofer, 16 extra points on the year, on to try now for Cherry Creek. He's number 3. That is no good. He shanked it off to the left.
And you won't see Meyerhofer do that very often. That doesn't happen very often at all.
The extra point has been missed. Regis hangs on to the lead. 7:06 to go first quarter. Regis 7, Cherry Creek 6.
And here is the replay of that touchdown. Jim Davis about to get the handoff as he bursts up the middle on the quick opener. Davis, 105 carries, 996 yards on the year. An incredible 9.4 yard per carry average. We are about set for the kickoff. Regis now holding a 7-6 lead over Cherry Creek. And we'll see if the Red Raiders offense can put together a sustained drive.
J.R. Bernanzoni on the right of your screen, Sean Shadler on the left as Regis attempts to take the kickoff. That's Bernanzoni, fumbles the ball, picks it up on the 13, gets out to about the 20 where he will be snowed under, and a flag is down.
A little too enthusiastic, I think.
Don Zima, number 34, Bob's son, made the hit. Preliminary signal, face mask on Cherry Creek. The officials for today, the referee is Ted Shield. We will hear from him throughout the day. The umpire, Jack Gardner, the linesman, Ken Estes, line judge, Jim King, and the back judge, Jack Mickle, all from Colorado Springs.
Well, so far, the first 2 breaks of the game have gone to Regis with a fumble recovery, and now the face mask going to move it up to about the 32, 33 yard line. Let's get the call from the official.
Face mask, kicking team, first down.
Thank you very much, Ted. 1st and 10 for Regis on their own 34. Rick Giarratano, the senior quarterback, 8 of 13 last week for 130 yards in Regis victory. There's the handoff to the man in motion, the wingback.
Sean Shadler there on the carry.
Shadler there. Matt Moe, the outside linebacker, made the tackle. Moe, 5'8", 155 as you look at Regis's offense.
Giarratano, of course, playing safety. Braun, another one of the guys going both ways. He's a linebacker. Shadler and Riley in the backfield. We've got Keeley and Matt Orland alternating at the split receivers, and Craig Campbell is the tight end. Gonzalez, Sims, Cavalier, Strauss, and Fortunato are the linemen.
Arnold, the man to watch. He's out of your screen, far to the right on 2nd and 10 from the 33. There's the handoff to Braun up the middle. Breaks open into the clear, all the way out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. First down, Regis.
And not only that, Ron, we've got a flag in the backfield. It might be a late hit on Giarratano. Bob Wilson was in there on the quarterback, might have delivered a late hit.
It's another face mask penalty on Cherry Creek, so that'll move it into Cherry Creek territory.
You know, interestingly enough, we're talking about the 2 really best defenses around, and yet the offenses have dominated the game.
So far they have. Steve, you've seen a lot of the action this year. I mean, Cherry Creek is that much bigger and deeper. Could they possibly wear down Regis through 4 quarters?
Oh, I think that's a definite factor in the game. Regis has got to get tired with 6 guys going both ways. And I think just the mental edge of knowing that the Bruins only have to go one way.
Face mask, the defense, first.
Did not give us a number. That is Dick Giarratano, the 7th-year head coach at Regis. So now the Raiders have the ball 1st and 10 from the Cherry Creek 39-yard line. Get a good look there at Giarratano, the senior quarterback. There's the handoff again to Shadler across the 40, inside the 35 before he's finally knocked down by Reed Peters, the safety, is junior, 155-pound junior. Pickup of 6, 2nd and 4.
Again, the misdirection is really the problem for the defense. Is you freeze those linebackers and you keep them guessing, and some hole's going to open up somewhere on the line.
Jeff Braun, number 22, the lone setback, the man that Cherry Creek is keen on. There goes the handoff. Nice move inside by Sean Riley as he plows down inside the 25-yard line. Another first down for Regis. And Steve, as you made a good point, we thought the defenses would dictate the tone of this game, but so far it's been all offense.
Again, the misdirection, Giarratano going one way, Riley coming back the other. It has been all offense. Interesting. It should be interesting at the half what type of adjustments they make. They've got the big linemen on defense. It's just a matter of time, I think, before their presence starts to show.
1st and 10 from the 23. Regis has moved down the field with the help of 2 face mask penalties. Giarratano, the handoff this time. It goes inside to Sean Shadler. I'm sorry, make that Jeff Braun. He is down close to another first down.
Again, another big hole in the line. Let's take a look at the replay again. You're going to watch some misdirection. The guard pulling out. Here's Giarratano. Looks like he may option wide. And Braun coming back up off tackle. Braun having an excellent afternoon on offense so far. Let's take a look at it from another angle from the end zone. Watch as Riley comes in motion. Now it looks like this could turn into an option with Giarratano running wide, but we get the trap block.
1st and 10 from the 11. There's the handoff right up the middle. It was Braun. He broke a tackle. He got inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line before Brad Barton, the right halfback, a senior, made the tackle. Pickup of about 3, 2nd and 8. Regis can get a first down at the 1 with 4:10 to go in the first quarter.
Hard to believe the Raiders are pushing out the likes of Gene Mingo, 6'1", 235, Rod Marshall, Jeff Schmidt, Bob Wilson, all the top caliber players.
Mingo number 44, Wilson 42, Marshall 77, part of that defensive line. We haven't really called their names yet. 2nd down and 8. There's the handoff to Braun again. He's down to about the 5. Braun had a great year, Steve. 190 carries, 1,230 yards. There's a flag down.
I believe it's a legal motion. That's going to set Regis back 5. Braun is just a heads-up ball player. Anytime there's a big play, he's going to be around the ball. He's really the guy that, there's Coach Dick Giarratano. Braun is the guy that Giarratano and the others look for in a tight situation. If someone can break a game wide open, it's going to be Jeff.
Good crowd here today at Jeffco. This is the game you live for as a high school football player. For most of these kids, it'll be their last great sporting accomplishment.
Illegal motion on Regis.
We couldn't hear Ted Shield, but we could see him. Makes it a 2nd down and 12 from the 8-yard line. We have not seen a pass in the ball game yet, Steve.
Neither team, though, is afraid to throw. They can put it up.
2nd and 12 from the 14. Giarratano is looking like he wants to throw. Can't do it, though, and he's hit down on about the 10. Gene Mingo is the first man to get a hand on him. 6'1", 235 pounds.
Boy, when he gets a hand on you, it's a big hand. You talked about the crowd here today. I was at both pep rallies yesterday, and these are some spirited students. They all want this game. They're all fired up, and they're seeing a good ball game so far.
Ball's on the 9-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
This is the time when they want to go to, I'd look for Arnold on a play-action pass. They like to go into him in a clutch situation.
Good shot of Giarratano. It goes to Braun up the middle. He does not get the first down. He stopped on about the 7-yard line. As Braun, the workhorse here so far early.
I think we're about to see a field goal attempt.
I really thought, Steve, if we'd see a pass in this first quarter, we'd see one there, but both teams keeping it on the ground.
Well, better to get 3 than give up an interception, and they are close.
Giarratano will hold for Matt Arnold. Be a 25-yard attempt. It is up, and it is no good, off to the right. Cherry Creek fans below us rise to the occasion there as Arnold pushed it off to the right, no good. So with 2:16 to go in the first quarter, Regis retains the lead. Regis 7, Cherry Creek 6.
We are back at Jeffco Stadium as the Cherry Creek cheerleaders get this crowd going. The Bruins just stopping a Regis drive as Matt Arnold missed that 25-yard field goal attempt. We'll see if the Bruins can put together another long drive.
Jeff Braun so far the workhorse for Regis, 5 carries, 58 yards. Cherry Creek has mixed it up. Buckner 4 for 22 and Tassone 4 for 24. 1st and 10 from the 20. That's Rick Wheeler with the T-bone veer out of the wishbone. 3 backs behind him. Handoff goes straight up the middle. It's Davis out across the 20 to about the 24. Pickup of 4, 2nd down and 6. What is the T-bone veer, Steve? Can you explain
I tell you what, first of all, I can tell you where it got its name. Fred Tassone used to be called T-bone when he was a younger guy. It is a variation of about 5 different offenses, and it sure works well for Cherry Creek.
It's basically a wishbone setup on 2nd and 6. This time the handoff goes wide outside. It's Scott Whitehouse in the ball game for Tassone out to about the 27-yard line. Pickup of 4 short of a 1st down, though, 3rd and 3.
Coach Tassone not afraid to substitute, and Whitehouse had an excellent game last week against North Glen. I've seen him have some great games so far this season, so they've got a lot of depth on their bench, and that's obviously going to be in their favor later on in the game.
Cherry Creek up front, their center William Warner, the guards Jim Denton and Mike Robolo, the tackles Jim Cox and number 65 Todd Prashensky. Big play early for Cherry Creek, minute 15 to go in the 1st quarter. There's the handoff straight up the middle. It'll be a 1st down for Cherry Creek. It's Scott Whitehouse again.
Interesting, we're not seeing that many fakes, just a lot of straight-ahead football so far.
Whitehouse last week playing for the injured Tassone, 14 carries, 85 yards. He also caught a pass for 6 yards, so he had a good game. 1st and 10 from the 33. Wheeler's back. This time he just pitches it straight back to Buckner, trying to get outside. Matt Arnold got him around the shirt and pulled him down at about the 35-yard line. Good defensive play by Arnold.
All right, let's take a look at the T-bone veer, Ron. They start out in a veer formation, but they can do a number of things. As you see the 2 backs coming out as blockers, and Buckner, it gives him a couple extra blockers on his way out, but Matt Arnold has a lot of speed, and he cut it off just like a good outside linebacker should. Buckner,
a 1,000-yard rusher this year, 157 carries for 1,032 yards. No gain. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Wheeler will throw for the first time in the ball game. He's got his man, J.D. Brookhart, on across the 40 down to about the 43. Brookhart, their best receiver, senior, 5'11", 175 pounds, 29 catches this year.
Here we go on the replay from the end zone. You'll see one quick fake to Davis, and Wheeler zaps the ball out to Brookhart. He's a game breaker. You've got to be careful whenever he touches it. He can go all the way.
5 touchdowns this year Brookhart has caught, 29 receptions for 509 yards. Here's the measurement for the 1st down. Cherry Creek is about 6 inches short.
You know, on 2nd and 1, I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Tassone have him just go for it all.
Perfect time to do it, because you still have...
Yeah. 3rd and just about 6 inches last week on their first drive. 4th and 5 at the North Glen 5, and they went for the pass and scored, so they're not afraid to go for it.
3rd and 1. Ball just inside the 44-yard line. There's the handoff right up the middle. 1st down and more. It's Whitehouse. He's out across midfield to the Regis 48 as the 1st quarter will come to an end. But Cherry Creek has regained a little momentum. They lost early in this game. We're through with 1 here at Jeffco for the 4A State High School Football Championship. Regis 7 and Cherry Creek 6. Back at Jeffco Stadium, as you see some of the happy fans. I want to remind you at halftime, Steve will be presenting live awards to all the division winners in the State High School Football Championships this year. He'll be doing that along with Dan Reeves, who is here, who's had a lot of time during the strike to watch Cherry Creek High School. Steve.
Awful lot of time, and he's got a lot of interest with his son playing football, and one of his girls, one of the pom-pom girls here.
1st and 10 from the 49. That is Wheeler, the senior quarterback. Hands it straight off up the middle. Big hole right there. I believe it's Scott Whitehouse again. Nope, make it Jim Davis.
Let's take a look at it again. Just another quick opener. The guard pulls, and he gets through a big hole, and he's going to run free until the linebackers and the safeties have to bring him down after a big game.
1st down, 1st and 10 from the 38. There's the handoff this time to Buckner. He's out across the 35, down to about the 32.
And again, the Bruins putting together a good drive, marching it right down the field, going right up the gut of the Regis defense.
Cherry Creek 6 first downs in the first quarter, Regis 2, but Regis out in front. That's what counts. 2nd and 4. There's the handoff again up the middle. Another big hole, loose ball. Let's see who comes up with it. It looks like Regis. I believe Regis has the football. That they do. Number 23, J.R.